Mayhem Show. Since 2006, the pioneer in pro wrestling podcasting.
This show is brought to you by IndyWrestling.us and IndyWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you got to do, make it last.
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and we are here for the Mayhem. It is a Wednesday night. It is post AEW. I've watched literally half of the 3-hour AEW because I had a client come in at 9 o'clock. And yes, and they were almost on the podcast. They were very excited, but they have watched zero wrestling. So I don't know how that would have went. So who knows? Anyways, I am here. First of all, joining me is Riz Plays Games on the Twitch. It's the Riz.
It's me.
It's you.
It's not Tuesday. I'm gonna be confused
It's
next
you.
week.
You're gonna wake up in the morning and be like, oh, Thursday.
Like today's
things.
Wednesday, right?
Thursday things.
No,
Thursday
it's
night fights
Thursday.
day. That's the thing that'll kick it off when you start seeing all those promotions from all the students.
Yes.
That's it. That's it. And of course, you know, it's 11 p.m. on the East Coast here. Do you even know? My body doesn't know it because I landed at 11:45 last night from LA. So we're bringing some people in there. It's lunchtime for them. I don't know how time works. Tina Keys is with us from up in Seattle.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, welcome, and of course, I think it's a perfect time to have you on with all the swerveness happening right now. Represent.
Somewhat.
You've watched Swerve grow up, I'm sure. So actually, people are reminding me because in the catalog we do have a license for the VOW Vicious Outcast Wrestling, and I think there might be a few things in the IWC catalog of Strickland here in the Pittsburgh area as well. Over there. So.
That would fall underneath that umbrella because at least how I got exposed to Swerve was his time in CCW actually.
Mm-hmm.
So
there you go. So Swerve has been all over the place. We've all ran into him. We're like, I don't know about this guy. And then turns out later he's the champion. So, but no, it's been really great. I even booted up Fight Forever and played a little Swerve action on there. Unfortunately, my thing doesn't auto-download stuff. So I didn't even have like Claudio and Jamie Hayter on it yet. So we're fixing that now. Also, I was installing my disc of 2K18 I picked up from Joe Dabrowski's House of Fun booth at WrestleMania. I don't know anything about this game, so Riz, I don't know what I'm getting into or if I'll have time. I haven't played 2K24 since the week it came out at this point. So we're going to listen, Riz, promise me, after I survive the month of May, okay,
We're playing video games?
You and I are getting together and you're going to take me through some old WWE games, okay? Like,
Okay,
let's
we're gonna
night.
go through. I got a good one for you.
Okay.
It is the best universe mode in WWE history.
Which one is it?
WWE 13.
13. 13. Which one's 13? Is that the one with Punk on it?
I think that's the one with Orton on
That's
it.
12. 12.
Oh, that's 12?
I have 12.
So 13 is Punk, I believe.
Well, yeah, 13 is Punk.
So that has like an actual, and lucky we're talking about this, it has the draft. And it goes through like the superstar shakeup type situation where 2 nights Raw and SmackDown, DW maybe somewhere in there, but it's Raw and SmackDown. They're drafting, and they face off against each other, and that winner gets a draft pick, and it's randomized, and it's amazing.
You know, I actually booted up some WWE Battleground. I kind of like that one too. Anyways, but that's not what it's about.
I miss that game.
So, it was a fun game. I really enjoyed it. Like everybody else kind of crapped on it, but it was so kind of irreverent, and I loved like the different kind of style. You know, I love
It got that weird moment. Like I remember playing that game when it first came out, and the first thing, like it was the first time I played the story mode, and the comic book style of Stone Cold and Paul Heyman meeting and then embracing tenderly in one of those scenes was a very interesting choice.
And WWE 13's for the 360, and it's on $10 at GameStop. So that might be an order at some point here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might grab a bunch of them here at some point. Anyways, speaking of which, so
I know too much about wrestling video games.
AEW just happened. I have watched up through partially into the Claudio O'Brian cage match, which has been tremendous so far. I did catch a little bit because my app was kind of looping at the end there, so I know there was some action with Kenny Omega. So for those maybe who are not watching AEW, just start off with that. First, what are the high points of AEW that maybe I didn't get to, especially what is going on with Kenny Omega? I know that Tony Khan is got cut off and the EVPs are in charge tonight, so the Bucks were all over the place tonight. So I know that there's a bloody affair apparently just wrapping as we're recording now and live on air with Willow and Sky Blue that I can't wait to watch while I'm editing this show. What's going on? What's that?
It just ended just a few minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it was pretty gnarly. Not as much blood as we thought it would be, but there were some pretty gnarly spots.
A Canadian level of blood is what we're saying.
Not even.
Just a drop of maple syrup.
Maybe. But it was called the Manitoba Massacre, so
that's setting a bar, I guess. So I did see the FTW match with Jericho and Shibata, where he brings out a black bag of hockey pucks.
Yes.
So there's some interesting, fun stuff in there. And I love Taz is getting so hot about what Jericho is doing to the lineage of his FTW Championship. It's like, he put his name on there. Nobody told me they were going to do that. Nobody tells me anything around here. And he just like flipped out for a while. I don't know if it was on the live or on the picture-in-picture or not, but it was tremendous. So I'm kind of loving that, and I'm hoping it just like Taz gets in there and just kicks him in the nuts at one of these matches. So,
with the possible addition of Big Bill, so that might be might be.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I was watching the Big Bill stuff. Wrapped up some stuff from this. I watched Saturday Night in pieces. So thankfully, I travel with Dutters, who is interested in seeing what's going on with wrestling too. So we are watching relatively when we can WWE live. But the West Coast is weird to me, and I don't know what I'm getting in a hotel room when I turn on at 8:00 and I expect to have WWE Raw on. So.
Sometimes they air coast to coast, like live, or sometimes you'll get that delay feed. So
that's great, and you just don't know what you're getting. I think I've had that with hotels. I'm like, wait, I know I've been at somebody's residence in the West Coast, and it's definitely on at 8:00 on the USA, and then I go to a hotel and it's not. And I was like, and it was hilarious because I put it on, and Katie and Aaron look at this, and it's like, and there's like a stripper situation happening, a male stripper thing going on, and he's just like wheelbarrowing this girl, and I think it's like the Farmer Show or something.
It's the Cowboys reality show that comes on right after Raw.
Yeah. I'm just like, this is not wrestling, but it's kind of close. So that was kind of an experience. So, anyways, so what is the deal with Kenny Omega?
As far as I know, we don't know that much. We know that he explained what was going on with him and that he's been hurt. And then he went to address the Bucks. But then we heard the coin drop. And then classic, I would say not necessarily classic, but elite shenanigans, Jack Perry, Okada, the Young Bucks all attack Kenny until FTR comes out a little bit towards the end.
As you do. Okay, so we just had a little tease there. I wondered if I had any big, because I tuned in and he was talking Japanese to somebody.
Okada.
Yeah. So for some reason in my head I thought Tanahashi showed up for some reason.
And then there was a little bit of a lead in too. They took up a little bit of time on Rampage too to address the whole Kenny to play out again with the Kenny situation. But I'll let anybody, for those who doesn't want to hear any more about it, I'll just try to check out Rampage, or at least wait for the social media clips to see what's going on with that too as well.
There you go. There you go. Well, thank you. So we are 2 weeks out from Dynasty, and kind of playing out till Double or Nothing here. I was really interested. Like, people were really kind of ragging on how we just had Swerve come out and do a quote unquote nothing match to kick off his championship last week. And then, and obviously we kind of pushed for, he spoke on Saturday, and we had the reveal of who he's going to be facing at Double or Nothing tonight, which is a great runaround, by the way. I don't know how big we are on the Christian Cage as the contender here, but man, the story makes so much sense.
It makes sense, but there's also a little side story to it too. At least I think there's a little bit of side story to it.
Is this a Pacific Northwest side story you're about to tell us?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, there's certain members of the patriarchy that do have Northwest ties. I mean, as well, and not to reveal Christian's game plan or anything like that. Nick Wayne did beat Swerve for the Defy Championship. I mean,
oh, okay, all right. So, but yeah, no, it is. I love that we flipped Swerve the face, and now he's has to be accountable for all the terrible things that he's done, right?
Yeah. And Christian mentioned that tonight with the Nick Wayne attack at the Buddy Wayne Academy, as well as what happened at All In Wembley, stuff like that.
I mean, it's because it's the perfect. He's the perfect heel. He's like, because he's right, like he's absolutely right, in this case. But then he says something about his daughter, and it goes completely off the rails, which is so Christian. So
yeah, but that's Christian, though,
Oh yeah. Just like, and then it got weird. Thank you, Christian. Okay, here we go. No, I think that was right on for that stuff. I think there's some pretty good matches here tonight. Good showcase stuff tonight. It seemed like a lot of showcase matches. I don't know because they were stretching for 3 hours right now.
Well, for me, it didn't seem stretchy or didn't seem long. It actually seemed very quick paced.
Yeah.
But again, I actually when I saw, I think what was it? I think it was Brian Cage and
Claudio.
Oh gosh, Claudio. Yeah, I was looking at I think more towards when it was 6:30 my time. I'm like, oh, and then Excalibur mentions, oh, we still have Mariah May and Serena and the Kenny segment. I was like, oh, okay.
Lots to look forward to. Awesome. So Riz, have you been keeping up? Are you watching tonight too?
I was not watching tonight though.
Aw. Riz has a
I was. I have a ritual on Wednesday where I watch Dimension 20 Junior Year, so a little nerdy stuff. But yeah, I will probably watch it though.
That's fine. We're getting you caught up. This is your little preview here. So
yeah, it's as I mentioned before, it's kind of like a showcase of a Dynamite, and then kind of furthers a little bit of story along. But other than that, like I said, I found it quick paced. But
yeah, no, I think they're doing really good with this, and I know they're getting topsy turvy because of all the NBA playoff situations. So I know they got to kind of play fast and loose with that. So which messes with my schedule because I wanted to do this show an hour ago. But anyways, that's good. I think they've been doing great with things. It sounds like the ratings have been doing pretty good with them. Since apparently that's all that matters, according to Tony Khan. Let's talk about, my God, actually, let's talk about Tony Khan and the neck brace. But first, I want to take a moment here to thank our friends that are supporting this show, and you're the reason why I'm making myself do the show on 11 p.m. here. On a Wednesday night to get the show in. No, that's not the reason. It's one of the reasons. Also, that's kind of therapy for me. We've talked about this before. But you guys, you deserve a damn show. We're gonna give it to you. I know it's a day late, but I was on a plane at this time last night on my way back. So, and by the way, Ricky Stenicki is a fantastic movie that I watched on the plane on the way back.
Is it?
It is tremendous. It is tremendous. I was laughing out loud at this thing. Sorry, my neighbors on the plane. Definitely, I think it's definitely worth. If you like I mean, it's in that vein of the 40-year-old virgin kind of stuff, I guess. Humor wise, that's the closest thing I can think of. But it's good. They got great people in there, and it's if you're just up for a little bit of lewd humor, you're gonna appreciate it. I think John Cena is amazing at this thing. So much range, even in a Britney Spears costume. But thank you for everybody that does support this show. First of all, our friends at the fan show level, Bo Diggity.
Wow, I can't do it. Woo! Like, it was like very
Thank you.
bad.
I was
on
so
that
sad.
one.
We had a guest in the studio that didn't know what we were doing. So last week.
I know.
Also, thank you to our friends. Bo Diggy, Team Hammer Fist, and the Tupac family, the Poppy Club level, Dave Profbot Podner, spouse of Rooster Affair at roosteraffair.com, Rats and Trenchcoat, Tony Kincaid, at the Beats Club level, Doc Remedy, The Riz, and Lance Fisher, and at the manager level, Bradley. You guys support the show too at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. No, we're probably not. I don't think we're going to do a Patreon this week or next because the May is one of the busiest months for me. So our scheduling is a little weird, and I need to kind of get at some stuff because I got some things to handle. But we're giving you a show at least, and we'll see what else we can do here throughout the week too. Also, in about 2 weeks or so, I think we're going to do a pre-recorded episode again because I'm going on a family vacation. Guys, I'm going to take a vacation after.
Sorg's taking vacation.
If I survive the next 2 weeks,
vacationing?
I'm going to take a
I
honest
know
to God,
that's a scary
with the family
thing. It's a scary
on
thought.
purpose. The work is not getting me to this location for a change. Yes,
Sorg
I've gone
is-
to. Yes, I'm a person who's gone to 2 Disney parks on each Disney park on each coast and a Six Flags in the last 2 months. But that's because it's work. It gets me there, and I'm very nearby. The Six Flags is at the exit for my hotel, guys. But this is we're taking Mama Sorg. We're taking Mama Dutters. We are going down, and should I tell you where we're going? Riz, you want to know where we're going?
I want to know.
Dollywood.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, Dollywood. If Dollywood is not a destination for you, you don't know what it's about. You don't know. And you need to find out. Definitely recommend the Dollywood. Dutters and I went 2 years ago, and we're just like, this is one of the best parks we've ever been to. So, sorry, Six Flags. It was a little sad. But anyways, so Tony Khan, or should I call him Tony Kaufman, got attacked on the show. And I love that.
The day before.
I love that. I'll say something on the show, and Tony will prove me absolutely wrong. You know what, guys? I don't think ratings really matter to AEW. They got all this other stuff, a lot of other metrics. I think ratings are an exclusive metric to what's going on there. And Tony Khan, like 2 days later on Twitter, is like, ratings is the only thing that matters to AEW right now. I'm like, okay. So, didn't I say something about Tony Khan's not going out there in a Pope Mobile becoming part of the storyline? Yeah. Then he gets piled.
Not only is he doing that, he brought his dad along too.
He brought his dad along too.
Yes.
What did his dad do?
I mean, after he got Meltzer driver, I hate that word. By the way,
whatever they're called.
It's the TK driver now.
Yes. His dad comes out and like scowls at everybody in the ring, and then it fades to black.
Oh, I didn't realize that was his dad that came out. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
The guy with the really big
gosh.
mustache.
Oh.
The owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh
Jaguars.
no! Wow.
Oh my gosh. And God bless Carly Bravo.
Mhm.
And his reaction, he was like, "Oh shit, God's here."
Yeah. So he does this, and then we're all like, man, I hope he wears. Everybody's like, I hope he wears the neck brace to the NFL draft the next day. And he freaking wears the neck brace to the NFL draft the next day. And every clip that I've seen, nobody's like running down wrestling in this case. And this is the thing. Wrestling's fucking cool right now, right? The fucking Kansas City Chiefs quarterback was involved in the damn storyline on Monday. right?
Mhm.
So every interview, every spot, every callback to the shot across NFL Network, ESPN, I saw it all across social media late last week. Like, they're chuckling about it, but it's not like offensive. You know what I mean? And they're kind of selling it, and everybody's on board with this idea. They're not like, look at this clown over here, because very easily Tony could be a laughingstock of the NFL ownership, right?
Right.
In this with this definite kind of publicity stunt, but he shows up, you see him there on the draft, you see the shots. My God. And I loved, and again, this is one of those things, like, I feel like I thank you, Twitter, for proving me wrong, right? Because we're like, oh, Twitter's gonna shit on how petty this is, and da. And then it was like, no, this guy's a fucking wrestling god. Good on him. You know what I mean? He fucking gets it. He's he's Andy Kaufmaning this thing. I hope he wears the neck brace for like 3 months. To everything, straight up until preseason games. Let's do this. I love that they're like, I love the game that he is remotely producing the show from Jacksonville as if he's not actually there, and I don't know, maybe there's a real reason why he can't be at the shows anymore, and he's actually kind of playing with that, right? Who knows? I don't read the sheets anymore, so I don't know what's going on or what's supposedly going on anymore. But man, listen, Tony Khan is a goofy ass dude, but he's every one of us just with a bunch of money. And I think any one of us would be doing the same damn thing in that position, and that's great. And he appreciates it. And I see nothing but respect in everything he does for the wrestling. As much as he understands the wrestling world, you love to see it.
He's trying.
He's trying real hard.
Like that's all. That's all. I know. I'm not one of the biggest AEW fans in the world, but I do give him props when it's due. That was perfectly done for not just one night. He did it all 3 nights. Like, I think it was the 7th round they showed him. He still had the neck brace on.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing is, and it's kind of nitpicky, and I know other people do it too, but if you're wearing the neck brace, don't move your head. Keep it straight.
He just doesn't know how to sell it.
No, I mean, and I get it. He was close. He was close to the TV. The TV was like in the corner over there, so he had to look over to the side just to make sure he's on the TV and look back. But yeah, I mean, I also heard that on like a podcast. I was like, it's a really nitpicky type situation.
Sure.
But still,
yeah, it is kind of a nitpicky thing. I think what it was is the filming, or not the filming, but he had it on even during the parking lot brawl between Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta. And then I think there's also like crowd footage of him with the neck brace on doing the dance with Daniel Garcia.
Yeah, I saw that too. I man, damn it.
yeah, it would be us if we were.
Yes, absolutely.
It would definitely be us if we had money and the ability to take a move like that.
Yes. No, all hail Tony Khan. Thank you for saving wrestling and doing this.
God bless Tony Khan.
Seriously. No, I go ahead.
I was about to say, but unfortunately, with the thing about it is, whenever AEW sometimes takes 2 steps forward, there's always the unfortunate thing where it could be one step back.
Are you going to mention the Harvey Weinstein of wrestling?
Hey, you mentioned it.
I mean,
I was going to leave it alone and leave it like that, but
yeah. I think he recalled the WWE the Harvey Weinstein of professional wrestling company.
So sometimes there's like he has to pull back sometimes, and there's those moments where.
He's not wrong, but he's not. But like,
still,
they're not supposedly there anymore. It's not a good look. Also, it's like, yeah.
And it's not like you don't have guys there that have an NDAs as well. Rumors have NDAs as well.
Yeah. So I just no, and again, blah. And again, when you have somebody with this much money, they're on another set of rules than any of us, right? And awareness.
In a sense, I would say, but
yeah,
even
that's
still,
not a
it's
justification.
kind of like,
Again, not a justification, but a reason. You know what I mean? He's not living on the same plane of existence as the rest of us. That to know that is
What is
probably
happening?
something he should not say. What are you talking about?
Has that always been there, Sorg?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I see what he's talking about.
There's nothing happening. There's nothing happening here.
It
talk
changed.
about wrestling.
It actually just changed.
Let's just talk about
Okay,
wrestling. Let's just
I
talk
may be
about
going
wrestling.
crazy.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Anyways,
I was worried that's going to be Raphael next, but go ahead.
No, I only have two.
Okay.
I'm out after this. There you go. That attacks on Vince, not the company. Which, yeah, that's true.
But he called WWE
Yes.
the Harvey Weinstein of professional wrestling.
Yes, I think
He didn't say Vince.
I think that is a bridge too far. I think if he said Vince, that'd be more slanderous or something. So, no, it fell. But either way, I think it's a net positive for what they were doing there, and it got some mainstream buzz over it, and hopefully more than those comments. So, but also, and to a certain point, you can go to. I'm sorry if Matt Carlins was here. He says no, we should take them to task about what's going on over there. Everything's rah and hey, and look at what Paul's doing. It's Paul's world now, but it's still a company that did tolerate, cover up something with whatever this is, and we'll find out. There's going to be litigation, and we'll find out what's really going on here. It's looking worse and worse every day from the things I'm seeing. The other con, I guess we'll shift here because this news did happen. This is a business news. I did see that. What's the con's name that's in WWE? I can't remember. Nick Khan. So I did see an article that Nick Khan has sold all of his shares in TKO and is rumored to be or has been named in one of the lawsuits.
He hasn't been named. They were just saying that it was corporate officer or corporate executive such and such, which rumored to be Nick Khan. And then as far as, from my understanding, his shares have been up for sale for quite a few months now. So
it's nothing new.
Right.
I think it sounds like it may just be cashing in from all the good business he's done in the last bit. And a day ago, there's a YouTube video letting us know that Vince and Nick still have plenty of stock. So, whatever that means, I don't know. This is a wrestling show. I don't know why we're talking about stock markets. But hey, they are here to make the money. And that's what they're going to do.
And speaking of making big money moves, something happened on Friday and Monday.
The draft? The draft, you say? You're alluding to, perhaps? Well, let's talk about the draft. But first, I want to give a shout-out. Let's go to IndyWrestling.us. A lot of great wrestle action over there. Part of that is going to be the Big League Pro that is debuting this weekend. We're not going live with it yet. This is a new promotion. We're kind of getting everything under what's going on with Big League Pro here, but it will be on IndyWrestling.us, just like our other Erie promotions have been in the past. So very excited to see what John McChesney and the crew is doing up there for May the 4th be with you. Clever name. So I wonder what day of the month it's on. And of course, a lot of action here from the last month, including RWA, VCW, Prospect Pro Wrestling, and a lot of the back catalog. A lot of the old catalog is going up on YouTube as well. It's been timed down and cleaned out of the vault under the paywall, and you guys can view it. A lot of it's premiering, a lot of some of the West Virginia wrestling, and some of the names that you may see all over the place. So go check that out, IndyWrestling.us, and if you'd like to, subscribe to us on YouTube for the shows and the live streams for a lot of those, as well as IndyWrestling.network with a lot of back catalog, including some of the original content that we have, including Duke and Doe's Hardcore Memories, talking about the good old days of ECW, as well as Wrestles with Rigatoni, Women's with Waffles, Women's with Waffles, Waffles with Women's, something like that. With all things that people told me I need to resurrect and do new editions of. Yes. We'll find some bandwidth for that in the near future. Hell, I got a big Frost and Benjamin interview from about 3 years ago. I never edited. So maybe we'll get to that and put it on YouTube. Who knows? So go check out everything. IndyWrestling.us. A lot of great things happen there. Thursday Night Fights this week. Go check that out live. So, drafty draft? Is there a draft in here?
The actual draft that mattered last week?
I appreciate, listen.
Look.
What? God bless Corey Graves
Mm-hmm.
for trying to put over this inane concept of this draft. And I've been less pissed about this draft than I ever have been. I've been like, cool, it's a draft, let's go. But the fact that everybody needs to draft their person in, like there's this big concept of drafting your person back to your company to make sure it didn't get drafted somewhere else, made a lot of nonsense happen. Okay.
Well, there not only that, but there was just there was a little bit of change to it too.
Okay.
It didn't seem as chaotic. Like all the champions were protected. Factions and tag teams were remained together, so it didn't seem as chaotic.
Yes.
There was a point in the draft on Monday where my brain exploded.
And they're trying so hard. They were trying so hard.
And it was, I think, round one or two, where SmackDown got 3 people, and then Raw got the LWO, I believe Imperium, or
that was the first round, actually.
Oh, that was the first round where they got
that was the first round.
7 draft 7.
No, it wasn't.
Wrestlers?
No, I think it was because it was Gunther.
Gunther and Ludwig.
Gunther and Ludwig, Imperium. They also got Damage Control.
They got Damage Control. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I think Damage Control was in the one with. Okay, now I'm just gonna scroll until I find it because now I'm really interested because I know they have it, and I kind of just was like, "What the hell is happening here?"
Yeah, because right off the bat, that was the first round.
Yes. But yeah, it was one of those weird things where it felt like it felt like WWE was Raw was trying to fill in 3 hours, of course, and they were picking up all these factions. One of which had a person that's not in the faction anymore. With
Carlito came with the LWO, right?
Yeah, they're like, and Carlito as well. It's like, oh.
Yeah, like he just got like under the draft line or something. He ran in with them, right? So, so here's because there was a lot of kind of people analysis. Oh, what's Raw gonna be like and stuff. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't care who's on which show. I want to see what you do with them. You know what I mean? I don't care until you actually see. There was somebody pointed out. This was a great one. I need to see who I sent this to. Somebody had pointed out that there was a fellow, Odyssey Jones, was apparently drafted. God, I can't find it now. He was drafted last year to Raw. Never showed up on Raw. He was drafted this year to Raw. They misspelled his name.
Now, was that on purpose?
I don't.
Or do you think they're actually just gonna call him
I think he's going to be
ODD?
odd to see, and it's the return of the oddities, ladies and gentlemen. You know you want it. You know you want it. Everybody
They
come
did
see
John
the
10
greatest
to
show.
bad. They did John 10 to bad. I'm sorry.
Pick up all the juggalos and roll.
They did Earthquake bad.
Everybody come see the greatest show.
Earthquake should not be put in a mask, Sword.
Mm.
But I hope he does good.
Yes,
Like-
absolutely.
Like, I actually have seen like maybe 1 or 2 matches with Odyssey Jones.
Sure.
And each time, and this was more of a NXT crowd. NXT ate him up. Like NXT was like the crowd was for Odyssey Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And so how they're going to turn him into a Raw superstar, I want to see what happens there. Out of anybody in that draft, I want to see what they do with him. Because we know what Braun Breaker can do. We know what Blair Davenport can do. We know what Tyra Valkyrie can do.
Mm-hmm.
Odyssey Jones is a little bit of a curveball in that.
Mhm.
And also Dijak's there too.
Also, Dijak. Yep, we're looking forward to that. No, I'm excited to see. NXT's been kind of rocking lately. It's time to bring some people up. So, yeah.
And it's like also with the X factor of having Kiana James, like you've seen her on NXT, but not a lot of mainstream fans are exposed to NXT.
Yeah.
So be interesting to see that as well. And then to make that shift with all those people, especially someone like Kiana James, with an integral part of, as I'm going to segue to NXT again, Ava just announced how the women's North American Championship is going to be determined.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how's that happening?
There's going to be a combine going back into
What?
the athletic.
Which is
there's going to be
What?
Yes, there's
very
gonna be a
random.
combine. Yeah, like I said, this is really going to be like college athlete type stuff.
Which they
so
do
there's gonna
before
be
the draft.
Before, yeah, you're right. So there's going to be a combine to narrow it down to 12 women. Out of those 12 women, there's going to be qualifying matches, and those final 6 will be part of the ladder match, much like the original men's North American title will be determined in a ladder match at NXT Battlegrounds.
Okay.
It's a
I like
lot.
it.
I know. It's a lot to
Okay.
process.
Hold on, I got a whiteboard here. Jeez. This is where we need Matt with his khakis and the board again. Look,
Mhm.
my hair got fussed just thinking about that.
Yes.
Okay.
So an athletic combine, narrow it down to 12 women. Out of those 12 women, they're going to be qualifying matches. And those 6 women out of those 12 women who win are in the ladder match.
Okay. All right. I watch it. Should I catch up with the last 3 weeks of NXT? 4 weeks of NXT, by the way.
No.
Should I just fast forward to spring break in and just do that?
Spring Breaking's a good reset. I mean, a little bit. I don't know what they're setting up with Trick Williams and
Yeah, that I don't know what's happening there.
Okay.
Because
What is
it
happening there that we
feels-
understand? Tell me what's happening.
Lash Legend came out with a manila envelope and stated that in that envelope can crush his career.
God. What's up, mystery handshakes and envelopes lately? Jeez.
I remember back in TNA where they did that whole AJ Styles angle with the baby.
What?
Oh, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian.
Yeah, this I feel like this is what,
But
and they don't need to do this.
It just screams. It also screams like Seth Rollins and Aaliyah and Ray. That whole mystery envelope thing too.
Yeah, they don't need to do this. Like, if it's gonna be, if they're building like Noam versus Trick, I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with that match. Don't need to spice it up with mind games that could ruin a wrestler's career.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever there are allegations out where there's literally ruining people in wrestling's careers,
You don't know what it is. You know, it could be he had a gambling problem at Chuck E. Cheese. I don't know. You know,
it's Dave and Buster's, first of all.
Okay.
It's Dave and Buster's, not Chuck E. Cheese.
Did you see? I saw this on TikTok. Somebody that they thanks to a leap year, they just supported their 9th birthday. So what was 9 times 4? Whatever that is.
36.
36. So a relative 36-year-old got to have their birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese.
Ooh, they have the Johnny Gargano versus Bronson Reed matchup on that Speed.
Oh wow. Yeah, Speed is an interesting concept. I watched the first couple matches on there. I just keep forgetting it happens. Anyways, yes.
Yeah, and they I believe it was this past week they crowned the Speed champion.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. It's an interesting concept. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be an interesting trivia mark in the near future, I'm sure. So
yeah, and so yeah, like you were mentioning before, we're going to see how all these new entities play out as far as the main roster. And
I mean, they're even like meshing in with new people, like with the old guys, the old people that were not drafted, quote unquote. Because I know NXT just had DOC come in, like Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, and fought against
Axiom and
yeah.
And then, as mentioning before, with the Women's North American Championship, and speaking of the OC, Mia Yim just put her hat into that as well.
That could be fun.
And of course, there's Ivar in there too.
What?
Yeah, you didn't know Ivar's in NXT now?
Yeah, Ivar's been again throwing his hat into the North American title scene with Josh Briggs. Is that right? Josh Briggs.
Obafemi too.
Obafemi, yeah.
Well, this weekend we are going to be treated to. I think it's an afternoon pay-per-view. This with Backlash in France.
Okay.
Backlash.
Y'all are going to be treated to an afternoon one.
We'll do the time zone math here right after this. Hold on a second. I got to fix this first. After this break, and you are going to listen on both feeds to Keith Hott catching you up with what's up with Top Rope Tabletop that's going live this Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time here in the Sorgatron Media Studios. We'll be right back after this.
Hello everyone, Dungeon Master Bearcat Keith Hott here, and previously on Top Rope Tabletop, Shadowclaw obtained all the Gems of Fate thanks to Eritros, the rebellion leader against the Mind Flayer menace in Waterdeep. The gang decides to help the resistance and finds themselves in the underbelly of Waterdeep. They find an airship that is a ticket to infiltrating the City of Shadow, but guarding it is also a golden dragon fused with the elder brain of the Mind Flayers. This will be their toughest challenge to date. Good luck, Shadowclaw. You're gonna need it. We'll see you all Friday, May 3rd, 7 o'clock. See you soon.
They work so well together. They work in tandem.
The reigning and defending
Wayward Sons are cut from the championship walk.
I believe less than a month ago. Get that momentum going.
So gritty.
This is his start in professional wrestling. Oh, big thinking. Big neck breaker.
So I believe it's had enough.
Getting a little frustrated.
Things are starting to break down here.
AJ. Oh, God. Unanticipating that shot. And look at.
Nice tag team cohesion.
Quite an eccentric individual as well. He gets a Gavin Jacobs. Ooh, but he's not going to.
The muscles.
Ooh, chin breaker by.
But has a real sense of urgency here.
Big spine bust. Thinking the cutter hits it. Oh, and KC now.
And that was nasty impact.
Gotta say by Gavin Jacobs, but it was necessary.
Rumble payoff.
It does.
Oh, wait a minute.
Maybe not.
Let's talk about sour grapes. Afternoon in McMecken.
So Glenn Spector is already on a roll. Major win tonight.
And as I said,
Wrestling with a lot of big-time matchup Poke can do. Oh, it's to tie up a calf.
momentum is such a trademark here.
As Capo Paul.
There, knew how to maximize
Oh,
it.
okay, Christopher now.
This number, blatant interference in front of the official.
I am restarting the match. Thank you, thank you.
God,
Oh,
how
big-
is this
from a clothesline. That's another. And Paul take it out. Can't.
difficult enough?
Oh, wow.
Misdirection from the count.
All now. Ooh, double knees right to the grabs a hold. Ooh, suplex there. Inspector, there's the running knee strike. Seemingly not done. Gonna put more of a beat down
They have hit the ring.
to even the odds.
I mean, I don't know how the hell this matchup got restarted, but I know one thing for sure.
We are back, and I'm considering bad decisions again. So let's get back into it. Backlash is this weekend, and headlined in France. Where in France, you're going to have two good old Georgia boys square off for the WWE title. Of course, AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes. So, side note, I watched a video that Chewy sent a care package to Pharaoh with a Chewy champion belt for Pharaoh.
No.
I sent it to my mother for dog things. But then I had explained them the WWE champion's dog. But anyways, so it seems a little bit out of nowhere, but I think it's gonna be tremendous. I think it's a first time match, if I'm not mistaken, right? That they've been putting
That is
over.
correct. Yes.
Yes. This is placeholder for Cody. You know what I mean? Like, there's gonna be no threat until he gets to SummerSlam. Easy. Right.
So if memory serves me correctly, and this is my geekiness, just kind of pointed out there, these are the only two men, at least as far as I know, who have both held the WWE title and the NWA World title. Someone quote me if I'm wrong or not. I don't know.
I feel like maybe also no. Cody didn't hold a TNA title, did he? Impact title?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No, just the as I mentioned, just this title and then the NWA World title.
And they also have each, I believe, held a New Japan title. Didn't Cody have the U.S. title?
Yes.
And
yes, he did.
Because he beat what's his face?
Hold on.
Juice.
Department working.
Say Deuce?
Juice.
Juice. Oh, Juice Robinson.
Juice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Juice Robinson. Yeah.
Yes. So, you got the Kabuki Warriors, which still feels like a overly cultural name for them, against Jade and Bianca. So
I'm for it.
So
put it on them.
Do we roll with this, and then there's a Jade turn? You think down the line?
Not as of yet.
Well, down the line, you know.
Down the line, yes, but not right now. I think, well, as we saw at the Rumble, and then what we were mentioning just a little bit ago, Nia just got drafted to SmackDown. So you still got that loose end with Nia there.
Yes, that's true.
Before that turn.
But in the meantime, that is like two muscly ladies that are going to throw around some Kabuki Warriors, it feels like. I feel like they're going to have some fun with that.
Yeah, they certainly will.
Yes.
Did they put the title on her?
I think they could. Especially being backed up by Bianca, that has a history of title contention.
I would wait until don't take this the wrong way with Backlash. I would wait until a bigger pay-per-view to do that, though.
How big is this arena in France?
Let me take a look.
And also, how do we classify big pay-per-views anymore when they're traveling around selling out massive places, and they're doing about, like, what are we up to, like 5 or 6 WrestleMania size venues at this point? So I don't know. I can see them doing it.
Every pay-per-view is now WrestleMania.
Yes. Every day is WrestleMania. Okay.
Every day is WrestleMania.
Yes.
Do
every
the
day
moves.
you wake up, it's WrestleMania. Do the moves. Say
don't
the
DM
words,
Vince. Don't DM Vince anymore.
but don't DM Vince.
Yeah.
Randy Orton and Kevin Owens against Solo and Tama. This has been interesting. I'm glad that KO I'm glad RKO. No, wait, are they RKO? Is that what they've been going by?
They will be RKO tomorrow. I mean, not tomorrow night, but this Friday night.
Yeah, it's the RKO show, isn't it?
Yes.
No, I'm so glad that their tiff at WrestleMania is not, did not break up the band, because I think they've been a wonderful buddy. I think Randy just wants partners he can have fun with at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I will always remember, I love that he's with Orton, and I love he's with Owens. And I can't remember if they were feuding or teaming at the time before, but I remember him lamenting about how he's jealous of Kevin Owens because he can eat whatever he wants, and he decided that he needs to go out in his underwear, so he needs to be in good shape. And I think that's what builds their relationship. So, first big high level thing for Tama Tonga. He'll do fine. He'll be fine. I love it.
And that arena holds a max capacity of, I'd say, about 16,000.
16,000. Okay, but it's in France, and we'll have a France-based SmackDown this week as well. I'm sure that will be pre-taped.
Well, yeah. And then as well, there is a Backlash kickoff show.
What?
At 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
All right, let's translate this for the West Coasters out there.
7 a.m.
7 a.m. You're watching Backlash.
Well, not Backlash. The Backlash kickoff event on that Friday.
Because you gotta watch the Backlash kickoff event, of course, with your
the pay-per-view itself. But the pay-per-view itself on Saturday, it's going to be Brunch and Backlash at 10 a.m.
Ooh, Brunch and Backlash. I hope somebody's doing that event at a cantina or something. Man, if I own a venue, I'd be rolling with that.
Well, actually, that's the Lariat Bar here in the White Center area of Seattle. They are actually airing Backlash.
Nice. I like that that's coming back. Like the Tom's Watch bars are a thing. In I think Dave and Buster's are carrying WWE again, which is like fantastic since it's not even a $60 pay-per-view. It's like, no, it's not about I need to pay, don't want to spend the $10 to watch this thing, $5 to watch this thing. I just want to watch it with people. Like, I love that. So I think that's tremendous. We should also mention there's a 3-way for the other women's championship, Bayley, Naomi, and Tiffany Stratton in a 3-way. That'll be good. Tiffy time, baby.
And there is also for the World Heavyweight Championship, there's Damian Priest versus Jey Uso.
Below the fold. Okay. So no, that should be good too. I'm glad to see Jay still in the title picture. I was thinking about this too when we were talking about Swerve kind of like answering for his sins before he kind of turned face. Like, I feel like Jay went through that process too, right? So I thought that I love that, like, we don't just like forgive people when they become fan favorites, it's like, yeah, but you did this thing. It's like my grandmother-in-law. She never forgot what Edge and Ric Flair did. And now that's like a storyline. No matter how much they were getting cheered. So it looks like a good show, good classic WWE show. I'm interested to see how it turns out here. So nobody send me what happened before Sunday night, please. So as I'm recovering from God knows what I'm going to do that day. Shout out to our friends again, Taco Mania. Not anything to do with IndyWrestling.us, but our friends Taco Mania. Our friends Enjoy Wrestling will be at Taco Mania if you're in the Pittsburgh area. It is that cool thing where it's like in the intersection, they set up a ring and there's a beer fest around it. It's really tremendous. And they have taco food trucks and everything like that. So, something I know happens quite often, from my understanding, in Chicago at least. I know our friend, the former DJ Z, Walking Wild, I know did a lot of those kind of lucha shows in the street kind of thing, and I'm sure they have a few other places too. But it's really cool that they're getting to do that. I think it's Cinco de Mayo they're doing that. That's right. I think they did it later in the season last year, if I'm not mistaken.
In August.
That's what I thought. It felt like it was a lot sooner than expected.
Because it was a lot warmer.
Yeah, and also shout out to Enjoy. They are doing, and this is a venue. I don't know, Tina, if you're familiar with this, and I'm sure we've talked about it in the past. Stage AE, which is where NXT and Ring of Honor previously would have been, back in the day, right, in the shadow of Heinz Field. I don't care what the name is now, where the Steelers play. Enjoy Wrestling is moving to Stage AE for their next show, Immaculate. And, of course, Edith Surreal is the poster girl for that one, their champion. So I last got to see Edith. We actually got to film Edith defending the Enjoy Championship against Reese Hayes out in Philadelphia for the 880 show. So excited to see that. Already have tickets. Don't book me. In fact, I'm going to drive in early from Michigan to make the show. I'm excited about this. So. I like it because it's I think a lot of promotions have been doing a lot of cool new things in the city, and I think that's really important for Pittsburgh wrestling, and that I have been lamenting for people for years to do, and I'm glad to see that Enjoy's doing something really cool there, and putting something on a literal big stage here in the city like this. I mean, it's going to get a lot of attention. It's going to change the game a little bit, I think. So. Look forward to that. Some good things happening here in the Pittsburgh area. It's always good things happen in the Pittsburgh area. I'm sad I can't make WrestleRex because I'm going to be doing another show. So that's also another fun experience. But anywho, what do we do now? Hey, want to shout out to our friends at Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza, New York City style. Yinzer made, Beachview, Carnegie, East End, North Hills. Hey, if you're going Taco Mania, they're right across the way from there. If you're getting tired of the taco stands throughout the afternoon as you're drinking your beer samples, go get yourself a slice. Soak it up with some nice bready dough. and pepperoni. So thank you to them for supporting the show well over the decade. I was catching up with the guys tonight because apparently they were following my adventures over to WrestleMania in Philadelphia earlier in the month, and it's one of the guys I usually don't get to see because I'm not usually in on Wednesday nights because we do the show on Tuesdays. So it was good to catch up with them. Check them out, sliceonbroadway.com, and thank them for supporting the show. Friends, it's time to find out what did we learn from wrestling this week. I wore my Kaiju Big Battle shirt from the show I attended this month to my travels, and there was a guy late last night. The train from the terminal was so full, and there's a dude in a wheelchair, and I was so excited to see a Kaiju Big Battle shirt. That is the last thing I thought I would have got a reaction from in an airport coming back from LA. So I just, that was a really cool connection that happened last night. I hope it made, definitely brighten the dude up that was stuck in this airport people traffic hellscape that we were all in. So that's what I learned. You never know what's going to kind of connect with people. And Riz, you've seen the pictures on the trips. I'm usually grabbing I think I wore a old school 2PW shirt to Six Flags, Defy. I'm just trying to bring those old promotion shirts with me when I'm traveling around because who knows, right?
Somebody's going to know. Somebody's going to know. Somebody's going to ask questions.
Somebody's going to ask about it. You're going to connect with somebody you didn't think about. I think I've gotten a few nods. I've seen other people with Defy shirts in the LA area for sure, for instance. So yeah, you never know. You never know who you're going to run into out there as you're traveling around. So who wants to go next?
I shall go.
Riz shall go.
I learned that today there are two very important things that happen in wrestling history. Today, this day in history. One was one of the best Steiner promos in history.
Oh no.
The Steiner math promo.
Mm-hmm.
Go check it out. It's amazing. I don't think there wasn't even a match at that pay-per-view with him in it. I don't think he was actually in that match anymore. And the second thing, and I didn't know this until I saw it online. Today, a couple of years ago, John Cena, America's own John Cena, after winning, I think he might have been against Randy Orton or something, got up on the announce table and said that they have compromised to a permanent end Osama bin Laden with the biggest pop in the world. Fireworks started to go off at the end. And it was one of those things where it's like, why is John Cena doing this?
Mm-hmm.
But then you realize, why shouldn't John Cena do that?
He's the Hulk Hogan of the 2000s, right? So
why not? Hulk Hogan wishes he had that power. Hulk Hogan wishes something happened on his run.
Speaking of Hulk Hogan,
oh God, you see the interview?
I learned that the 700 Club still is a thing.
Oh God.
Oh boy, some of the quotes that pulled from that were pretty incredible.
I want to pull up one that
please. I'll tell you what, you go research the department on that while we wait. We hear what Tina has learned before we go down this rat hole.
I can only come up with one thing, and is boo on Jey Uso for not letting Braun Strowman do the Lord's work.
Mm-hmm.
As you're aware, Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City Chiefs quarterback, handed Logan Paul his 3 Super Bowl rings.
Mm-hmm.
And Braun Strowman was about to chat Patrick, but Jay stopped him, and I'm kind of sad.
There was no way they were going to touch him.
I love that JD got so hard by those rings that he was selling it and tapping out.
Do you recall seeing when he took the towel off his face, the big huge purple bruising?
No. Did he
okay.
get him? Did he for real get him?
I don't know.
I don't know if it was like makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there was made the inference that it was very purple bruising.
Wow.
And they showed another picture of him where you can see like the like Tina said, you can see like the little divots of the actual gems in his skin.
That's incredible.
In the bruise.
Man, there's a fucking art form when they do this right like this, you know.
One more thing, and fuck Grayson Waller for shitting on the Bengals.
Whoa! Whoa! Oh man, that's right. They were in your old backyard, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Wrestling's in a good place, ladies and gentlemen. No matter what day we talk about it. Happy to be here. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Tina Keys, for hanging out with us tonight.
He called himself a
if I could, just really quickly, and I'll probably do it next week as well. Defy is holding their May show, streaming it live on YouTube.
Yeah.
The main event is going to be the Bad Boy Joey Janela versus Nick Wayne in a 60-minute Iron Man match. And we also have, for the Defy World Championship, Kenta versus Brian Keith.
Wow. That's incredible. Oh God, I'm sorry. I was trying to pull up Remix to see what they've been doing over there lately. But no, that's awesome. Also, it will shout again. Enjoy has their shows. The Odyssey is coming up. I think Mikey Montgomery and Lee Moriarty was a big match from last Thursday, I believe. So I have not had a chance to catch up with that. But as I've told Scotty, I do not watch your program because I'd rather be there in person, which is that's a me problem. But I'm gonna have to break that rule to go see Mikey and Lee go at it here. So, also, Bad One has learned that AEW is selling a Nyla shirt where the proceeds go to LGBTQIA place in Oklahoma. Fuck yeah, fucking go for it, AEW. Riz, before we get your outro, you have some quotes to share.
So the main one. The one that got a lot of things, and I think he mentioned this before too. Was this text messages?
Oh no!
2 days after Roddy Piper died.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm just loving you, my brother. Just walking with Jesus, loving you, my brother. And the best part was he starts to cry during this, and he says he would never have said that if he was here. I'm like, yeah, he probably didn't say that at all.
Yeah, man, your phone's got hacked, man.
So let's see. There was another one where he called himself a meat suit filled with the Spirit of Christ.
I mean, I get that vibe.
I mean, yeah.
But it's weird to say out loud on a TV show.
And then I think he started talking about Andre at one point where he said he couldn't eat with a fork and
knife. I'm like, what?
This is weird.
Mm-hmm. There's something about the people of that era that man, something happened to him. I don't know if it was the roids. I don't know what it was, but they just start losing it.
It's his ego.
Yeah. That's it.
He was sued. I mean, wasn't he? He sued a company and got millions of dollars because of what he did.
That was also backed by somebody else who had an axe to grind with that company.
But
that's a whole other thing. Riz, thank you so much for joining us. You'll be
come home and the headband comes off, the bald head, and it's just Terry.
And you know it's just Riz, and the Riz is going to be running his ass off at the Pittsburgh Marathon this weekend. We've been sharing the Katie's link for raising money for 412 Thrive, a great organization that helps breast cancer survivors with stuff. I don't know. Katie says it better than I do anyways. But no, go support that, and we'll see who's out there running. Riz, at the very least, I want to come down and support you guys. So, and who knows if I'll be in line with you. I don't even know how relays work. Somebody needs to explain this to me. I've never been to a marathon ever. So, or at least participating. I've covered a couple. But anyways, they had capes. You
get medals afterwards, so it's fine.
You get medals? I'll get a medal? Do I have to pay for this? Is there an entry fee? Okay. What am I doing? I'm Sorgatron. This is me. At Sorgatron on the social medias. You can see our adventures from the last few weeks and then coming up here this month. I will be in, of course, Thursday Night Fights in New Kensington, Pennsylvania. I'm very excited. We're going to be trying out some new people in new positions. Video production positions, I should clarify. And that one is going to HR. And also, I will be in Erie, Pennsylvania for Big League Pro Wrestling up at the Sports Center, Action Sports Center, I believe it is up there. A place that we've been doing wrestling up there, just under a new banner. And I'm very excited to see what a John McChesney Pro, if you will have in store for us. A lot of our friends of the show up there, including Palace and Arquette, are a part of it, and I think a lot of other familiar faces are going to be a part of this show as well. So very excited to see what's going on there, and of course I will be having 2 beers in my hand, or maybe just seltzers at Taco Mania, and looking for a ride home Sunday, one way or another. And, thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday night. We'll see you next time. Mayhem out.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.